Hello, welcome to the first scripting tutorial on Roblox on this channel, of course. I'm just trying to decide what I have to do here. Okay, so I recorded a video explaining how to navigate around Roblox Studio, but it actually turned out terrible because my push to talk was on the whole time, and I'm probably not going to do that anymore because editing was terrible. You know, there's always editing that I could do to cut out whatever I don't want. So I'm going to start assuming that you already know how to use Roblox Studio because, you know, here we are. I'm going to start with a part. So, or you know what, actually no, I should probably just start with printing. So we're going to start with the server script right here. This script runs on the server. So we have 3 different kinds of scripts. We have a script, a local script, and a module script. So a script runs on the server, and everything on the server is replicated over to the client, which is your computer. And in order for a client to see in order for a client to see anything on their screen, it has to be from the server. A client can't just spawn in a part and the other players in the game won't see it. That is for filtering enabled, but everything that I show you will go along with filtering enabled, so don't worry about that. A local script is for something that only runs on your client, so like UI. Module scripts are for later. They're pretty useful, but I mean, you don't need them. I'm going to start with the server script. I just made a duplicate, and we all start with every script except for module scripts start with this statement with print hello world. Now we are using Lua, Roblox Lua, and the way that we, you know, debug our code to make sure that everything's working, it is very useful, and printing is really important. So printing, you know, I'm just gonna use the statement that was there before, which was hello world. So if you see we press run here, it's going to print down in our output over here hello world, because that's what we said in the script was print hello world. Now we could change that to whatever we want. We could say print bruh, and it would print bruh down here in the output. We can also use print to print numbers and bool values, booleans, however you say them. So we could say print 5 and it'll print 5. We could say print false and it'll print false. You get the point. Besides printing, we're going to start with variables. So variables, I mean, you learn them in math. It's the same thing. Something that basically, like x equals 5, and if you wanted to print x, the output would print 5 because x equals 5. I'll look that up later, I guess. Local, I don't know, x equals 5 or local y equals 10. We could print x, we could print y. We would get the numbers that we defined. If we wanted to print an equation, we can do that too. So if we did print x plus y, it would print 15. See, 15. More on variables. So say we had a part in the workspace and we wanted to define a part for the script. So everything in the game in this area, if you place it in this area and it's visible, it's in the workspace. So say we wanted to rename the part by right-clicking it, pressing rename, and name it my part. We could say local part equals game.workspace.myPart. And we could reference that part, and the script will know that this right here, this object, is the part that we're talking about. If I wanted to make a whole nother part that looks exactly the same, and then name it, oh whoops, I don't know why I did that, rename it to, I'm looking for rename in the workspace, my part 2, then said local part 2 is equal to game.workspace.myPart2. It'll know the difference between part 1 and part 2 every time you reference it. Now, that's because workspace is the parent to my part and my part 2. All of these directories that you list, like game.workspace, part.color, brick color, that would all be, the part is the child of the workspace. Or go down here to starter player, starter character scripts is a child. As you can see, the parent is starter player. If something's inside of a folder or inside of an object, its parent is that object or folder. So we can change properties through scripts. So we have a part here, and as you can see, we have a bunch of properties inside this part, like brick color right here. So red or white. So let's keep it white right now. And let's say we want to change the color of that brick through a script. So first we need to define the brick. We don't have to define the brick, but it makes it a lot cleaner and easier to access throughout the script later on. So local part equals, and I see that I have my part highlighted, so I know that's the one that I'm changing. So part equals game. You don't have to say game either, you could just say workspace. And I heard that it's better to do this. No, I guess that was a lie. But yeah, you can do workspace, but I'm used to doing game.workspace. It'll work either way, no difference really. Game.workspace.myPart, and we just reference the part. And if you want to change the brick color, you see right now the color is institutional white. Say I wanted to change that color to red, so part dot brick color, which is a property here in the properties window. So part dot brick color equals, now we want to choose a brick color, so go through here, say I want to change it to red, really red. So it has to be exactly spelled out this way, or else the script is not going to understand what you're saying. So capital R, really red. Gonna change it back to white, so it's still white, equals brick color dot new. So you're making a new brick color, and you want to put in quotation marks really red. Now here, if I run the script, it'll change the brick color to red. But yeah, the part, all of the properties inside the part, you can change through a script, like can collide, depending on whether it's true or false. If it's true, then your player will collide with it when you walk into it. If it's false, which means you unchecked it, you can change it to false in a script, like you'd reference the part and then you say part.canCollide. .canCollide equals false, which would be the same as you just clicking it. But if say you wanted to unlock a door in a game and you wanted to make it so that when they got the key they could walk through the door, you would turn off canCollide so they could walk through it. That is what we would use canCollide for. And I know if we changed canCollide to false, or canCollide to false here, isn't it? Yeah, it'll fall through the base plate because, you know, canCollide is false. Right now, this part has can't collide on, so it's colliding with the base plate. Can't collide off, it'll just fall right through. That should conclude it. Also, you can print properties if you need to know. So print part dot brick color. So what did I print? Part dot brick color. So right now the part's brick color is institutional white. So since it's a string value, it should say institutional white right here, because that's the part's brick color. You could print part dot position. We could re-enable the script. Pretty sure. No. Oh wait, I'm done. Okay, yeah. So then it'll print the part's position and the output. You can print part dot orientation. It'll print the part's orientation. So everything inside of the part, all of the properties you can use inside of the script. Yeah. So right there, that's pretty much it for now. That concludes this tutorial. And yeah. See you.